Google Earth Tour. Step one, first of all, open up Google Earth. If it's not on your computer, you can download it. Hopefully you all have Google Earth on your computer. One thing that you want to make sure that you notice over here is you have the area that says My Places, and under it has a sightseeing tour. This is one that was already created, and yours is going to be similar to this. In order to begin your Google tour, you're going to make a folder in the My Places area. So if you put your cursor over by the globe over here, click Control or right click, and then Add Folder. It's going to ask you for a name. Put that in and then click OK. So now I have my folder here, and this is where I'm going to begin to create my places that will be stops along my tour. So now you just gotta kind of go through and choose your areas. I'm just going to choose some random places. I know that you all have areas that you've selected that represent different points in your middle school experience. I'll start right here at this lake. And if you want, you can zoom in as close as you want. It's kind of up to you what view you want to look at. Once you get it kind of where you want it, you come up here and you click on the Add Place Mark. Right here you need to title that area. Your titles will be more specific, I imagine. And then down here is where you add your description of why you chose that place for your tour. Another thing you want to do here as you're at this area, to make sure that Google Earth zooms in exactly where you want it, you want to click on the button that says View, and if you look down here it says Snapshot Current View. So if you decided to do a roadside view, once you get down there, you click this, and that's going to be the view that it ends up taking you to as it goes through the tour. So I'm going to snapshot that, click OK, and now I have my first place over here, first stop in my tour. Alright, so in order to create multiple stops, you want to make sure you click back up on your name so that the stops go underneath here in order. Don't worry, if you get some out of order, you can always click on them and rearrange them within this area. Try to stay out of the temporary places and try to stay out of the sightseeing tour. I'm going to click back on Dubas so my next area goes underneath the lake. Alright, if I were to click on lake, it would be create another area down here for my next place. I want them just to go right below each other. Alright, so next stop. Let's try like searching for a place over here. Oops. Grand Canyon. Alright, so let's go to the Grand Canyon. And now I can show you what I mean by snapshot to current view. So I'm going to cruise down here, get a little close to the Grand Canyon. A lot of famous features will have really good close-ups, so you can get really far down in there. And you can also do some stuff as you record it. But let's say I want to do a street view. So I want to come down in here and just get right into the canyon. Again, some places offer pretty good street views, some don't. Alright, so if this is the view I want, so this is kind of cool. I'm right inside the canyon. I'm going to just kind of put it where I would want it to be. And this is going to be my next place mark. So I'm going to click my little guy here. And I'm going to type in. Right now, if you look back over here, I don't want this to kind of confuse you. I'm going to close this box. So we'll look back at mine. Now I have under Dubas, first the lake, then I have the Grand Canyon. Alright, let's do one more, and then we'll talk about where to go from there. So I need to exit ground level, and I'm going to get back up out of the canyon. And I'm going to choose one more random place. Let's go right over here. And this is going to be my final stop, but I imagine you're going to have a certain number that your teacher has asked you to create. So remember, again, I have to go back over here, click on Dubas, and I'm just going to make this my last area right here. put my pin, title it, add my description about why I chose that area. Click on view, make sure it snapshots right there because that's what I want it to look at. And then click OK. And now I have Lake, Grand Canyon, and Kisjuf. Alright, so you kind of just keep going through that process, create all the stops you want on there. Then if I click on DOBOS over here, let me back all the way out. I can click down at this folder right here, and my tour will play. One thing you want to check out, you need to decide how long you want each stop to be. So on mine, I clicked over here. If I go to touring, if it says wait at feature, it's going to wait 4 seconds at that place before it moves on. And then time between features, this is kind of the fly time as it goes from one to the other. If you adjust this for yourself, you're going to be adjusting this for everybody else that uses this computer. So keep in mind, look at what this is, so when you begin to play it and practice it, you know exactly how long you want these to be. Alright, so I'm going to get back out of there. And you saw where that was. You can look back again. That was under preferences. So here I am. I'm clicking on DOBOS, and this is the play tour button. Alright, so go ahead and play it. It's going to start at my lake. I'm going to sit here for a second. I can talk about, hey, this is the lake that I chose because my school career was deep and vast or something. Now it's moving over to my Grand Canyon, and it's going to go to that view that I asked it to, where I go right into the canyon. Sweet. Here I can talk about, hey, I went through some tough times, like I was in a canyon and whatnot. And then we're going to move over here to my last stop and describe why I chose this area. It was green and lush, and I felt like I was coming out of the forest or something. Who knows? And that's my tour right there. So the tour itself has been created, as you can see over here, but you have not yet recorded it. Okay. So the next thing that you're going to need to do is, let me back out of this. So test it to make sure it works. All right. Now I'm going to back out of here. Oh, and also, if at any time you need to make some edits to the area that you wanted, I'm going to click on it, Control click, and if I click on Get Info, then I can make edits to what I already had, and then I can save it, and I can even change the view if I want. Okay, so okay. So now I'm going to click back on DOBOS because now I'm going to record this tour. All right, the tour is here. But if I want to record it, I need to click this guy right here. So you have your options here. I can just record the tour right here, or I can record the tour with me talking about my experiences. I think your teachers are going to tell you which one they want you to do. There are some advantages to either playing the tour with your voice or just talking about it as you give your presentation. It's kind of up to you or your teachers about what you all decide to do. This one, I'll just do my voice so you can see how that works. And then I also have the option of having the tour play automatically. I don't have to if I don't want to. All right, so keep that in mind. The other way is you just click on these one at a time and it takes you there. If you click on them, then you actually get to see your description and you don't simply just have to talk about it. All right, so I'm going to click this guy, record, and then I also want to record my voice. So now I'm going to begin by giving my presentation. This is my Google tour about my experience here at Comball during my first year. All right, so if I just click play, now I can kind of talk through as I go and record my presentation. And again, it's recording everything that happens here. So I go to my lake and I talk about why that was a place that I chose and how that represented my time here at school. I'm going to go to my canyon area right in here and talk about why the canyon represented my time here at Comball. And then finally I'm going to go to my last stop and I'm going to talk about why this was a place that I chose. All right. So once I am done with that recording, I can just click stop. And now, I'm going to begin by giving my presentation. This is my Google
You can
tour,
see that it's beginning to play.
About my experience here at Comball during my first year.
So this is it right here.
All right, so if I just click play,
You can hear me talking and hear my voice in the background.
now I can kind of talk through as I go. And
Okay, I'm going to pause this because the next part is very important. You need to save what you've just created. If you click on the little button right here, this is your save, and I'm going to title it DoBoss. And then I'm going to click OK. All right. This right now, it went right under DoBoss. Here is my tour. This is what I'm going to play at my presentation. There is another step. We need to save this as a different type of file. So I'm going to click Control, click on it. I'm going to save place as, and then I'm going to save it again as DoBoss. I'm going to save this to the desktop and save. All right, my file is done. I'm ready to go. Now, one thing you all have to keep in mind as well is that you're going to have a number of names down here because other people are going to be creating Google tours on the same computer that you're using. Make sure that your name is where it needs to be and that your stops are under your name. All right, watch the video to see how to do that again if you get confused, please. Here's the file now. It's right here, DoBoss KMZ. All right, this file should be on your desktop. This is my tour. What I need to do now is upload this to Edmodo. So you'll type in Edmodo on your computer, get into your Edmodo account, go to your backpack, click on Add File, and add this right here to your backpack. That way you can get it wherever you need it. As soon as you click on it, it'll begin to play. It can play on an iPad or it can play on a desktop. Depends on what you're going to be using for your presentation. The one last thing that I want to kind of show you is the advantages of possibly not playing your tour but just clicking on it separately as you give your presentation. All right, so again, here I am. I'm ready to record my tour. I'm going to click back up here on my name. I'm going to click on the record button, but I'm not going to play it using this button right here. It's not going to go through. I'm just going to click on my features just so I can take my time to discuss them. I don't have to time out my whole presentation. All right, so I'm going to click record. I'm going to click the microphone. It's beginning, and then instead of playing it automatically, I'm just going to click on my different features, and it'll take me there, but also I get to see the nice description that I wrote as it takes me there. That's one advantage to clicking on them one at a time. Then the words are there, and I can talk about what I'm seeing. When I'm ready to finish and I'm done with this one, I can just go over here, click on the second one, and it's still recording the tour. It's just not playing automatically. And don't worry, it won't show this stuff over here either. So this thing kind of moves around and stuff, and it shakes a little bit. That's the only thing that's kind of a bummer. But now I'm going to go to my last one, and again, my description's right here, and everything's where it should be. And it is now finished. All right, so I'm going to stop. Microphone, it's beginning, and then instead of playing it automatically, I'm just going to click on my different features. So this will now this is what if you use this is what it'll look like when you play your presentation. So that should be about it. I hope you do all right. I hope everybody doesn't have too many issues, and you know, hopefully it works out good for you. I would say once you are done with your tour and you have saved that KMZ file and you've tested it to make sure it works, I think it would be helpful if you went ahead and deleted your tour that you created. That way it doesn't make a big jumbled up mess for everybody down here. So save it, make sure it's in your desktop, put it in Edmodo, try playing it from there one time. If it's good, then delete it from over here. All right? Good luck.